Hello. Welcome along to episode 266, I do believe, of Adventures in Pop. My name is Simon Jacobs, and you are looking splendid for a Thursday in the middle of November. In the last video that I made, which was just a few days ago, I made a video for one of the tracks on my forthcoming album, which is out next week. It's out on the 21st November. It's called Organic, just in case you've been living under a rock recently and have not been aware of this. I keep going on about it. And I made a video for one of the tracks, one of the really many tracks that has not thus far been made into a single. And there are going to be a whole bunch of these. So this episode is very simple. It's the second of the tracks on the album that is not a single, and this is a song called Stella McCartney with Mary J. The Mary J involved is Mary J. Blige, actually, and you'll see that from the video because this is a whole bunch of name checking people in this video, and for every name check, I have a person. So it's going to be quite interesting. Okay, so this is, as I say, it's a track on the next album. It's not going to be a single. Doesn't mean that it's any worse than any of the others. It's an interesting track, and it came about. Oh, by the way, I did post a little snippet of a part of this song with a little bit of video back about 5 months ago, according to YouTube. And I think it was episode 226. We're now up to 266. If you want to go back and check, the back catalogue, you're always welcome. But the story behind the song is interesting, I think, because there is actually a story for a start, and it's one of those things where I wasn't expecting to write a song. It just sort of happened. I was leafing through one morning. I don't know where this came from, but there might have been one or two pictures in the newspapers of the Met Gala in New York, which is a very big, very kind of, almost formal fashion event for the richest and famousest people in the whole world. I'm aware now of about 300 photos of different people, mostly different individuals. Occasionally it's a couple, but that's 300 of your closest friends have been invited, and they've got to be 300 friends who are well known in their own right in the world of cinema, sport, music. Basically, as long as they're kind of rich and famous, they might be invited, and they've got to be hopefully a bit beautiful as well, so they can fit into their, gorgeous evening attire. Now, there was a theme for the Met Gala 2025 back in whenever it was, late spring, I think. And the theme was about black dandies, I think was the theme. The theme was about black men's suits. And a dandy is kind of like an extravagant and extrovert follower of fashion, I think is probably the best way I can describe a dandy. And a dandy is almost definitely a male as well. So I know that on the kind of board of deciding what the theme was going to be, and I guess who was going to be invited, Lewis Hamilton was one of those people, which is kind of odd, isn't it? I guess he has been marked down somewhere as a dedicated follower of fashion. He is himself a black guy who could be called a dandy because he knows how to dress, and he obviously has the money to dress in whatever way he wants, whenever he wants, and to be completely in control, if you like, of his look. Now, the point about this particular evening was that there were 300 people turning up in their fancy limos on Fifth Avenue to the venue, wherever it is. And then obviously there was there were a bunch of photographers taking kind of formal photographs of every single person who'd been invited on that guest list and was turning up in their extraordinary outfits, and they were extraordinary. And you'll see some of them in this video. So I'm looking through these photographs, and it's I wasn't sure at the beginning how many photographs there were. So one turns into 10 photographs, and after 10, I'm realizing that I've probably looked at about 100, and then 200. I'm on the way to 300, and eventually I start feeling just a bit nauseous. That's a word, isn't it? Nauseous. Because you get this sense of the fact that all around the world people are struggling, there are wars, there are plenty of people who don't have enough food to eat. There are probably quite a few of those people in America itself who don't have enough food on the table, struggling to make ends meet. And yet, here in the middle of New York, in 2025, you've got, 300 of the most famous and fashionable people turning up to simply show you how flippin' fabulous and gorgeous and well turned out they are. And it was all right for the first few minutes as I'm leafing through and looking at pictures of Stormzy and Dua Lipa and who else was on there? I mean, so many people, Venus Williams and Lana Del Rey and Lewis Hamilton, of course. But after a while, you just started to think, really, this is sort of jarring, and I thought maybe this is something I can write a song about. And then I had to just be careful not to write a song where I'm being very, earnest and disapproving. I mean, if people want to dress up and go and have a night out, for goodness sake, they're perfectly welcome to. It's just that there were so many and they were so famous, and obviously a lot of money had been, a lot of money had been spent. And you just wondered whether the optics were really the best they could possibly be. And the answer is no, they weren't. So I wrote this song called Stella McCartney with Mary J. Now, the relevance of Stella McCartney and Mary J is you will see one picture in this video of Stella McCartney with Mary J. Mary J is wearing a Stella McCartney outfit, and of course so is Stella McCartney. I think somebody else is also wearing a Stella McCartney. But anyway, Stella and Mary J turn up together. They're photographed together, both wearing their Stella McCartney outfits, and Stella McCartney in particular looking very miserable, I think. And I was wondering, did they have a row in the car on the way in? It's a bit strange. Anyway, it's nice to see they're good friends. But Stella McCartney with Mary J became the title of the song. And the main reason it became the title is because Stella McCartney has quite a nice rhythm. There is no other reason than that. So it became the line that I came back to and kind of repeated a few times. Stella McCartney with Mary J. So that is the song. The song is simply saying, hey, all these people have arrived for a party, and yet, there are some difficult things happening. That's all I did. I didn't want to get really earnest and po-faced and, finger waggy. So a kind of a light touch comment really on this one. It doesn't need anything more than that. So this is hidden away on this album somewhere. I think like track 9 or 10, Stella McCartney with Mary J. I have made a video. The video was kind of simple. And as long as, YouTube lets me get away with this, all I've done is simply take as many of the photographs, I think, that were, taken for Vogue Magazine, to name check the people in the song, and you'll see, as the name comes up, so does the picture, and you will see the outfit. So just drink in those incredible and strange and sometimes ridiculous outfits, and enjoy the second of the tracks that have not been made into singles. There'll be more coming along very soon, but this is Stella McCartney with Mary J. I thank you, and you take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Well, who's this stepping out of a limousine on the red carpet on Fifth Avenue? A photographic kiss for Vogue Magazine. And darling, you step this way if you want to avoid the queue. Oh, you're in with the in crowd. It's the biggest night of the year. Oh, the rich and famous famous, everybody's here. Kim Kardashian, Boucheron, Anna Wintour, Louis Vuitton, and just behind them, Rihanna and Cartier, and here's Stella McCartney with Mary J. Oh, you don't have to go very far to see things that you don't want to see. Oh, it's a different side of the city, and no one showers you with luxury gifts, 'cause your mom and dad are working 2 shifts, and nothing comes for free, and the streets, they ain't so pretty. Put it on Instagram just to show everybody you're here. For the rich and famous, it's the biggest night of the year. Here comes Stormzy and Madonna and Pharrell, and Dua Lipa, she's wearing Chanel. Lewis Hamilton and Lana Del Rey, Jeffrey Goldblum and Lorde. Look over there, it's Nicki Minaj with Nicole Kidman. We're giving it lush. And then I think that's Chanel Monáe and Stella McCartney with Mary J. But who is this trying to look invisible while sporting a bright red velvet cape? For some this is bliss, for others it is terrible. Right now you're wondering how soon you can escape. It's Nicki Minaj with Nicole Kidman. We're giving it lush. And then I think that's Chanel Monáe and Stella McCartney with Mary J. And Stella McCartney with Mary J.